This week on Taste Utah, we visit Hollow Tree Honey in Sandy, where Thomas Bench, he's not only an advocate of the honeybees, but he is also crafting some of the purest honey you'll ever find. Hollow Tree Honey is committed to small batch, raw honey sourced from hives placed in mountains all over Utah, from Davis County to Park City, Utah County, and even Brighton Ski Resort. When we want to fuel up before or after a quintessential Utah life elevated kind of adventure, we love getting grounded and nourished at Rooted Cafe. Summer or winter, Rooted's intentional and inviting menu, along with their warm and welcoming vibe, are both equally inspiring and enticing. It's also where you're literally able to commune with their delicious food and extraordinary people.
Taste Utah is more than your typical food show. It's about local flavor, from roots through authentically Utah restaurants. It's the people and the places that make Utah a dining destination. There's so much soil and earth to uncover and still so many great Utah restaurants to savor. We bring you the stories and we spread the love. The best thing about Utah, the views along the way, they're not bad either. We're not afraid to get our hands just a little dirty. Food is a necessity. It's how we create it and share it and experience it together that truly shapes our community. Whether you're choosing to dine in our dining rooms, order to go, or get delivery, you always have a seat at this table. Are you ready to taste Utah?
We're in Sandy, and we are going to visit Hollow Tree Honey. Now, Utah is known as the Beehive State, so it's only right that Hollow Tree Honey has decided to put Utah on the map and allow us to taste real Wasatch Front honey. We're gonna meet Tom Bench. He's founder, co-owner. We're gonna get a little sweet with you. Are you ready? Let's do it. Mask up.
Hey!
Tom!
How are you, Katy?
Oh, I'm so excited to be here.
Us too, yeah.
You're gonna teach me everything I need to know about honey?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
Welcome to the Honey House.
Yay,
Yeah,
Honey House! Okay, Tom Bench, you are founder, co-owner of Hollow Tree Honey.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes I think, you know, we're at the grocery store and we look at this beautiful jar of honey and there's like 20 million different varieties of honey too, and it's like, what does it all mean? You're gonna break it down for us.
Absolutely. We're going to show you honey, how it gets from the hive into the jar and eventually to your home.
What makes Hollow Tree unique to other honeys?
I think one of the biggest things is that it's unheated, it's unfiltered. It's basically from your backyard, Utah, Davis County. We have some up in Park City, so.
So it's like kind of with the Wasatch Front, you're sourcing honey from.
Yep, exactly.
This is amazing. So I'm a novice, and so what do we have here?
So these are frames of honey in a beehive.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, think of it like a filing cabinet.
Okay.
You can fit about 10 of these frames per box in this
beautiful.
size.
Okay.
So this is what it looks like after all the hard work's done.
Okay.
The bees have made the honeycomb.
What's the first step that you're gonna do?
You just kind of scrape the outside of the frame.
Okay.
And you just want to open up the wax so that the honey can basically flow out. Because we've got this spinner over here.
Yeah.
When it's white like this is beautiful. This is freshly made wax, and the bees have they've just done this right at the end of the season. And so it does look like a little bit like white and flaky.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're seeing.
What you're wanting.
Yeah.
How long is this good for? Like, how quickly do you have to harvest the honey after the bees have made it?
So that is one great thing about honey, is that it actually never goes bad.
Never.
Yeah. So I've had honey from a beekeeper friend of mine who, I think it was 50 or 60 years old. I don't know what it tasted like 50, 60 years ago.
Was it vintage
It was
honey?
pretty good though. Yeah, it was
Amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was one of his first harvests, but you know, beekeepers kind of keep jars from different seasons and different
cool.
locations, because you can really get a sense for like, you can remember different flavors and different.
It's very kind of like wine-esque, or even like chocolate or coffee bean, where it's like you can taste the flavors of the region, what that bee was eating, and what kind of pollen it was using.
So now that we've scratched both the sides, so we can take this, and we can just open up this spinner.
Okay.
And I'll kind of move it. So
nice. It's like a little basket in there.
It is, yeah. So we're just gonna put it in one side. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I gotta get it in there gingerly.
Gotta thread the needle a little bit. Okay.
Nice.
We got 2 loaded up, so it'll be kind of even when they spin out. So basically, once we've scratched the ends of the honeycomb off, then we can spin it out, and the honey will kind of collect on the outside and come down to the bottom, and then we'll open up that gate. And
should I start spinning?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
This is like different than like I'm used to spinning on a DJ table.
You kind of have to.
So Tom, we just came from honey spinning, which was so fun and super cool just to see that whole process. What's the next step in the process there?
So what we do is once it's collected into like a container, we'll let that sit for like 2 or 3 days and let the wax come to the top. And then we'll bottle the honey in one of these bottlers, actually, just like this. And we just put it in each jar one by one, put the lid on, store it away in the cases, and deliver it to the stores.
What's the intention behind that? What's the reason behind that? Is there higher quality of honey for health, or what are the benefits of
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like this, like slow food movement. It's like slow honey. Like, it takes a lot longer to do it, but the end result is you have a honey that maintains all of the flavors, which people can kind of tell right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then also the enzymes and probiotics. There's nearly like 200 components in honey that start to degrade at 98 degrees. And so if you want all the benefits of eating a raw, like whole food, then we just kind of keep it simple. We do it how the bees would do it, and then we try and preserve all the hard work that they put into it and that we put into it.
And what are the other ways to process honey? You can heat honey, which you do specifically for a couple of people that you distribute it to.
Yeah, so we will warm honey if people need to cook with it or mix it in salad dressings. Like, we actually, Harmon's, the deli and the bakery, they use our honeys in their recipes. So we love working with them, but they couldn't scrape it out of a crystallized, honey. We just want to get it to you as natural as it was from the hive.
And then we have all of these in front of us, which are all of what Hollow Tree offers, like in the grocery store. Will you just kind of give us a lay of the land? Yeah,
definitely. So because we harvest by area, we have these small jars, and they've got the mountain wildflower. That's at like 8,000 feet. That's a very floral honey. So that's actually south of Utah County. But then this one is Utah County. So the hives are from Salem and Saratoga Springs, kind of 2 different opposite sides of Utah County.
Yeah.
Some of them are kind of by the river corridor there, so they get a lot of those wildflowers from the river area.
Nice.
And then this one over here is the Davis County. These are actually in a fruit orchard.
Okay.
And this is one of the most popular as well, but it's almost like you can taste some of the cherries in there. And then this one is, we call it the Park City, the greater Park City area.
Okay.
It's probably about 15 minutes away. It's kind of closer to Colville. And then we kind of have the different sizes, the 12.5 ounce. This is the 33 ounce. And this is something that we've put a lot of effort into, the combed honey.
Yeah.
These are just a little square cut out of the honeycomb. And we usually harvest this around July, August.
So basically the frame that we just scraped, you would just cut a comb out of it instead of scraping it and spinning it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing.
So it's about a little bit, I mean, in truth, like, these are kind of the same honey in the sense that this isn't heated at all either. But this is maybe one step closer to the hive, if there was a way to get any better.
Can we taste some of this honey?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, okay.
let me open this up. So this is our mountain wildflower. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And then this is the Utah County.
Oh yeah, it's got to kind of dig into it.
Yeah, that one especially, because it's the wildflower, it's still pretty soft. There we go. So,
that's like candy.
Yeah.
And
so it's a little bit more, Yeah, that's the most floral honey that we have.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful.
It's that light kind of like...
It's like soft on the palate.
Yeah. I love that.
And then should I just hit up with the next one? Okay.
Yeah.
This is like the texture of honey that I would be used to, like if I were just to buy it in a grocery store.
Totally. Even though it's liquid, you'll kind of notice the difference. A lot of the honey in the stores is from kind of one area, because if you put it next to a clover field or an alfalfa field, there's a little bit less risk involved.
And this tastes more like a traditional honey that you would get in the grocery store. The difference between this honey and that honey is unbelievable. Like, people need to do this. It's and really taste the nuance. This is soft and delicate. This is just like overly sweet.
That's why I mean, like when it crystallizes, it's almost like people after they've tried it will sometimes prefer the crystallization.
Yeah, between those two, I would prefer the first one.
And then this one, we have one from actually Brighton if you want to try some of
The
that.
resort?
Yeah, up in the mountains. We got honey fever one year, and we're just like, let's take some hives up there.
Yum.
And this is one of my favorite honeys of all time.
Look how dark it is.
Yeah, we almost, we don't sell this, we just kind of give it away as we...
Gifts and
yeah,
stuff?
for gifts and family
So this
friends.
is like, aw, I feel like a family friend now.
Yeah, this is the special honey. No, it's all good, but...
This is the good honey that you bring out when like you've got company over. It's like, bring out the good honey.
I have some that, you know, like it's almost like more sentimental value, because the first hive that I have was that my wife and I were living in the Avenues, and I was going to the U, and her grandma let me put my first hive in her backyard because it was up on this hill. So like it's the same thing. Like I have little jars. We call it Gma Joan honey.
Oh, it's like so sentimental. It's so sweet. This honey is amazing. There's like a unctuousness to it. Like it's full bodied, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I love that. That's like my favorite honey. Ever since like the beginning of our, company, when we were at farmers markets, we tried to give away and most people are receptive. They would love to do it. I tell them like Utah almost has like 900 species of native bees, more than that. But this mix is really, so it's about 20 flowers. What it does is it feeds the bees from like spring, like early spring, all the way to the fall. So there's never like a gap in nectar. So you can always see bees come and visit your yard.
Can I have that?
Absolutely. There it is.
I'm going to do my homework.
Cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it would be an honor.
Once you've planted some flowers in your yard, you can you put these up, and it gives bees a place to basically create their home. So you can see like in here like the different colors.
Oh yeah.
And different sizes of these tubes.
Yeah.
We make these from like recycled cabinet scraps, and then these are from, they're called Phragmites or canary grass. They grow along the Jordan River. But you can tell like depending on the size, like the diameter and the depth depends on which species is attracted to it. So the bigger ones actually in this one are called the mason orchard bees. See how they put mud on the end of their...
Oh yeah.
So they like lay an egg, and then they put some pollen in there to feed the egg, and then they section it off with mud, and then they do another section. So there's about probably 5 or 6 sections in this one cavity. So each one of these that's packed in will represent another 5 or 6 bees that are going to emerge in the spring.
You become a steward of the bees by having something like this.
Totally.
You get to plant your flowers, you get to put a place for bees to live and grow. It has just been like a privilege and honor to spend time with you and to tell Utah your story.
Cool, yeah, thank you, Katy.
Thanks,
It's been great, yeah.
We are on Bengal Boulevard. We're in Cottonwood Heights. We're literally near the mouth of Big and Little Cottonwood. It's snowing finally. And there are 2 things that we know in Utah you want to know. You want to know the powder report, and you want to know where to eat. Okay, so if the greatest snow on earth isn't really your flavor, Rooted is a place where you can go and get elevated and then come and get grounded. We're gonna meet Sean. His lovely wife Allison co-own this restaurant. Let's go get fueled up. Mask up. Sean!
Hey, Katy!
How are you?
Doing great, how are you?
I feel so good to be here at Rooted.
Oh, it's great to have you.
Oh my
Welcome,
gosh.
welcome.
Thank you. We're wearing the same masks,
That
but
is
because
neat.
we featured you on the Midday News back in April,
Well, I've got a spot for us outside.
Okay.
And we're ready to go.
Let's
so
do
let me
it.
show
I'll
ya.
ditch my jacket and we'll go.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it.
Sean Steinman, you're a co-owner of Rooted with your lovely wife, Allison. This table is, I'm like salivating.
Thank you so much.
Will you just kind of walk us through the dishes we have in front of us? And I'm gonna dive into this French toast.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
this is
cool.
the sweet and crunchy French toast. Actually, we did some frosted flakes, crumbles on it. So
No
it just adds this
way.
really nice texture, kind of hard on the outside, really nice and moist on the inside.
Okay, I'm gonna dive in. And then
Dive in.
I've had your breakfast burrito, which I have to say, hands down, one of my favorite in the state.
Thank you so much.
Talk to us a little bit about it.
We're big breakfast burrito fans, just in general.
Okay.
So it's a vegetarian breakfast burrito, but then for those meat lovers, you can add the chili verde, which just really wraps it all together. And you have, you know, the black beans on the inside,
Yeah.
the zucchini.
And then little pillows of dreams over there, the beignets.
Yes.
And then what are you dipping in there?
So that is actually just going to be a raspberry sauce.
And
Super
are you
tasty.
making all this in-house?
Everything is in-house.
Boom.
We have a pastry chef here that you'll be able to meet here shortly. Yeah.
And then what's in front of you?
So this is actually going to be our mahi-mahi fish sandwich.
Oh, wow.
And then our chorizo fries. So
Chorizo fries.
pretty unbelievable. The chorizo's house-made here as well.
Jeez
And
Louise.
just, these are kind of the best after skiing or after biking treat.
You're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you have really great sort of lighter options, which are sort of on that end of the table, right?
Within Rooted, we wanted to really incorporate a lot of like the, you know, the nice, naughty, meat lovers stuff that's
Yes.
going to be really good carb loading. And then incorporate, we've got actually, this is our Caesar salad, and you can actually have it grilled. So we did it a grilled Caesar today with some salmon on top. And then we've got our vegan scramble.
Well, you've got your choice of mimosas if you're doing brunch or breakfast,
Yeah.
or if you like, I guess, mimosa at dinner. But
Absolutely. Yes, we have our bucket of mimosas, which is kind of a fun little thing that you can, you know, bring your friends, family, all the above, and just
Yeah.
share. And you get the whole smorgasbord of all the different purees and flavors.
And then to your right is mulled wine.
This is our mulled wine.
You're doing that in-house as well?
It's all in-house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sean, how long have you been in business?
So we actually opened up February 5th of 2020.
So you basically opened right before COVID.
We had 6 weeks before all the shutdowns happened, and that was one of the most surreal times of our life, where shutdown happened, earthquake happened shortly after.
I mean,
We were able to see everything we did right and everything we did wrong, and then we were able to just sit and breathe and refocus and, I guess, root down
Yeah.
for a couple months and say, what can we do better? It's been such a difficult time for many people from a scarcity aspect in people's lives. So being able to kind of normalize people's lives with a space like this, with to-go options, and even being able to sit out here on the patio and, you know, just kind of enjoy normalcy a little bit. But, you know, that normalcy is adapted as well.
we're still not at full occupancy. The model of what it looks like to be a restaurant right now in America has shifted completely. And so restaurateurs are constantly having to look and say, all right, here's a new model. How do we do what we want to do, which is make our customers feel at home, serve them, create a hospitable environment, and do what we can to support them. And so building a patio like this, that's what you're doing. So for people who don't feel comfortable eating inside and maybe still want to eat outside, you're saying, we've got you.
Yeah.
We've got your back. And those people are saying like, well, we want to support you too. So we'll come and eat outside so that we can dine at your table.
You hit it right on the head. And I think that's more so of, in such a time of, you know, scarcity, I guess you could say, how can we create abundance in people's lives? And that's, you know, of course, by giving them nutrition and then giving them a comfortable space. And I think that's a huge factor for us is how can we do that? And what does it take? And that's kind of where those subtleties that we've put into the space, that's what our goal is.
Sean, this has been such an extraordinary conversation. I can tell you and I could sit here and manja and talk for hours till everything was gone in front of us. But I would have loved to pop back in the kitchen and meet
Absolutely.
your chef or pastry chef and just be able to see how the love gets gently infused into the food.
We'll do it.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, sounds good.
In the kitchen,
kitchen with co-executive chefs Alex and Jacqueline. And then Alex, you also are responsible for all of the house-made pastries.
Yes, so I've been making the pastries for the last probably 7 months, and we make everything from scratch here. The eclairs are made from scratch.
Wow.
We make like the pistachio paste from scratch, and they're really, really tasty.
Oh my gosh, so
They're
you
super
must
good.
have a sweet tooth.
I do.
Yeah. Do you have a sweet
Yeah.
tooth?
I do.
I do too.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
they're
We're all
amazing.
gonna get
Yeah.
along so well.
Yeah.
But what are you making for us
So
today?
right now we're working on the hash browns, and we salt and pepper them
Okay.
for our huevos rancheros.
Huevos is literally one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So Jacqueline, you're gonna hand off to Alex this plate. Great.
There you go.
Boom. Teamwork makes the dream work. So then it looks like Jacqueline's gonna layer on.
So she's making a tostada.
Okay.
So we add some chorizo, which
All right.
we make in house. We get our chorizo from Majestic, which is sourced locally. So we do our beans first.
Okay, so beans go on first. Got like almost what you would call the most exceptional chorizo chili
Yeah.
stacker.
Yeah, it's amazing, and once you break into it, it's so good.
Oh,
You get
I like-
all the bites from everything. It's really,
I'm
really good.
salivating. So then she puts another tostada
Another
on.
tostada on,
And then
just
more
layer on top of layer on top of layer,
chorizo.
and then we add the huevo
Oh,
on top,
beautiful sunny side up egg.
sunny side up,
Oh, that's
then-
the money shot.
and then guess what goes on top?
More
More
chorizo.
Yeah.
Now what do we put on here?
So it has queso fresco on top on a layer, and then
Beautiful.
it has some sour cream on top, just to finish it on top, and then pico de gallo as well.
They say the fruit is only as good as the roots, and the roots here are rooted. They're money. I'm gonna take that.
Yes.
Huevos rancheros happens to be
enjoy.
one of my favorite brunch items. I don't know if you knew that, but
No.
you just spoke to my heart, and I am
so
happy. Thank you.
Thank you.